Hi, my name is Bill Raymond, and I'm going to show you how to set up projects so that they can use Git in Visual Studio. We're not going to walk through all of the different ways to use Git. It's really just how to configure a project to use Git. Now, the first thing that you might want to do is just use Git on your local computer. In other words, you're not going to use some service like Visual Studio Team Services or GitHub. You just want version control on your computer. To do that, go ahead and click File, New, Project. Select your project, and then make sure down here at the bottom of the screen, the Create New Git Repository checkbox is selected. Then click OK. Once your project is set up, you'll notice a few things that give away that you're using Git on this project. The first one is this item down here at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and it says Master. If you click that, you can see you can add a new branch, manage branches, and view the history. There's another way to tell. If we go to the View menu and choose Solution Explorer, then we'll see these little locks next to each one of the files. And if I mouse over, you can see it says Checked In. This is letting me know that these files are under source control. Finally, if I come to the View menu again and choose Team Explorer, then you'll also see here are all of your Git details for your project. Right now we just have this master branch, if you will, and we have some options up here at the top: merge, rebase, actions. So this is how you get to the common items that you need to manage when you're in a Git repository. So this Team Explorer becomes very handy. Now here I have an existing application, and this application is not under source control. You can see there's no locks here, and if I go to the View menu and choose Team Explorer, then Microsoft's telling me here are some ways that I can set up Git for my project. So if I want to take this existing project that is not under source control right now, I can come down here to the bottom right corner of the screen and choose this Add to Source Control item. I'll go ahead and choose Git. If there were any open files, then it would automatically ask me to save them. And if I come over here to the Solution Explorer now, you can see here are those locks letting me know that I'm checked in. And instead of Add to Version Control down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see there's the master branch, if you will, for the project. Once you sign up for Visual Studio Team Services, you'll get a place where you can start creating projects. You can create the project online, or you can create the project via Visual Studio. In this case, I created it in Visual Studio, but this is a brand new computer. This computer does not have the project on it. So at this point in time, my product only exists up in the cloud. So I'm going to show you how you can download your project from Visual Studio Team Services to your computer. To download our project to Visual Studio and get a local copy, we're going to clone it from Visual Studio Team Services. There's a few ways to go about doing this. For example, right here on the Getting Started screen, there's a Checkout from Visual Studio or GitHub option. But because this may not always be there, I'll show you the common way of doing it, which is to go to the Team menu and choose Manage Connections. Over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see two hosting providers, Microsoft's Visual Studio Team Services and GitHub. If you happen to be using older versions of Visual Studio like 2015, you might need to install some additional components in order to get these options. But I'm going to go ahead and click Connect. As you can see, it says no servers are found, log in and use a picker. So I'll go ahead and choose Add an Account, and Visual Studio will ask me to log in. I'm going to enter my username and password, and then we'll see what happens. Now that I'm logged in, you can see the Visual Studio solution found my project list, and it will ask me to connect to a project. I'll go ahead and choose that and click Connect. The next thing that will happen is Visual Studio will ask you to clone the project. Here you get an opportunity to select where you want to store that cloned copy. I'm just going to keep the default. Click the clone button. What's happening right now is Visual Studio is downloading my project from Visual Studio Team Services and down onto my computer. So now I have a local Git repository. Up here at the top of the screen, you can find the Solutions and Folders link. When you click that, you can choose your solution file. And now I can see all of the files related to my particular project. As I said at the beginning of this video, we're not going to walk through all of the capabilities of Git and how you use them, but I am just going to show you a quick way to get your files between the computer and the server. And I'm going to just go ahead and first show you this solution online. As you can see, on the left-hand side, we have the project. On the right-hand side, we have all of the different changes that I've made. You can see here that I added a class 1, I added some project files, cleaned up the UI, and these are a number of different comments that I added when I checked in the files. Going back to Visual Studio, I'm just going to make a simple change to my code. I'm going to add a new class. It'll be called class 2. And you can see here's class 2 over here on the right-hand side, and it says pending add. What that means is that it has not been saved or checked in yet. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'll click the Team Explorer tab over here. And once again, if you don't have the Team Explorer tab, just go to the View menu and choose Team Explorer. What I'm going to do is add this class 2 by committing the change. So I'll go in here to Changes, and I'll say added, let's try that again. Added class 2.cs for new code. So you just make a simple comment like that. You have a number of different options here. You can just commit them, you commit them and push them, or commit and sync. I'm just going to go ahead and choose the commit all option and click yes. Now what you'll see over here is there is a sync to share your changes to the server option. I'll go ahead and click that. Now you can see down here there's an outgoing commits list. Think of this as your queue of commits. If I go back to the browser and I refresh over here, you'll notice that there is no class 2, even though I said sync. So how do we get this up to the server? Well, we have to go ahead and push it. And this could have a list of different commits that I was making throughout the day. Also, I could have been making these commits by creating a new branch, but that's a topic for another day. So I'll go ahead and click push, and you'll see that the synchronization is occurring, and it says successfully posted to origin/master. I'll come back here to the browser and reload. And this time you can see there's class 2 right there. And you can also see my commit message added class 2.cs for new code. So that's basically how you get your Visual Studio code synchronized up with the server. Thank you for watching this video on using Git with Visual Studio. If you like this video, please press the like button and feel free to leave any comments in the comment section.